So this is the start of a project I'm doing for a Nordic cross-country skiing club that I participate in. What we're doing is building some snow stakes. So the snow stakes we need are 6 feet long and have a cross piece that allows the attendant to push the snow stakes into the ground before the ground freezes. So these are 10-foot lengths. I would have got them in 20 foot, but I have my pickup would have trouble carrying that. Be a little dangerous, bouncy. So I've got them in 10-foot lengths. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be cutting 6-foot lengths. They'll be cut at an angle, 45-degree angle, which will allow sort of a sharpened end to poke into the ground, and then a cross member will be welded to that. The 4-foot length that's left over, so that's 4 feet. My plan is to collect those, and then with the cutoffs from left over from other pieces, weld 2 feet onto that and turn them into 6-foot 6-foot stakes. So if I would have had the 20 feet, that would have been a lot better, because then I could have gotten 3 6-foot lengths, 18 feet, and then had 2 feet left over for the cross pieces. But can't do it. Don't have the facilities to do it. So this is just a start. So I'm going to run through 10 cuts, and then cut some cross pieces, and then we'll start welding and see how my welds hold up. So these are the cuts I've made. So like I said, the 6-foot cuts, the 4-foot cut out of the 10, a 1-inch or 1-foot cut for the cross piece, and then a 2-foot cross cut for the extension onto the 4-foot. So that's so 10 for the 6-footers and the 8-footers. So 10 of those. 2 for the cross pieces to make 20 of those, and then 2 for the 2-footers to make 10 of them. So that's 10, 14 10-foot lengths used up. So 140 feet of steel would have done, and this should make 20 lengths, 26-footers. So this is my jig that I've made for my to weld the cross piece on. It will actually end up being used to weld the 2-footer onto the 6-footer. Will take place right here. But yeah, so anyways, this jig is just essentially a long section that I ripped this out with my table saw, which is also working as my welding bench, and ripped a couple of cross pieces here, and a few clamps just to hold everything nice and tight. So yeah, give this a shot and see what happens. So here's the first one done. As you can see, I'm not the best welder. Literally the chicken shit welder. Looks like chicken shit. But yeah, I went and just stuck it in the ground, and so this cross member is good enough to take my weight, which is all I'm looking for. So this is how I've been doing the 2-foot to 4-foot joint. So that's this length here is the 2-foot, that length there is the 4-foot. So essentially I just butt them together. I leave a little gap. I'm not sure if you need to leave a gap, but like welders do something they call a root weld, where they leave a gap, and I think it allows the weld to get further deep into the joint. So anyways, yeah, so I just butt them up like this, and then weld them across. So as I weld, I just do a pass, and then brush it, hammer it, and then I just spin the whole thing, and away we go again. So there we go. This is the completed weld of the butt weld. Yeah, as I said, I'm not a great welder, so pretty ugly looking, but just to let you know what I'm using a 6013 rod, 3/32, and an old Tombstone Lincoln welder, and I'm running it at 75 amps. So whether that's all correct, I don't know. I'm not I don't really know much about welding, and I've never really looked into it at all. So yeah, there's my joint, ugly as sin. Maybe at some point I'll grind it down, but yeah, not great, but it works. So that's the completed snow stake. You can see that's a 6-footer. So there's some ones that are stuck in the ground. Essentially, you just sort of set it up and then stomp on this, and that drives it down into the ground, 9 inches, and they're pretty solid. So especially once the ground freezes, they won't be moving very easily.